What's up, YouTube? SalvoG here. Welcome back to another reaction video. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today we have a song from Bob Dylan called Hurricane. This one's from Scott over on Patreon. Big thank you to Scott for this song suggestion and support to the channel. Hurricane. This is a little bit of a longer one, I noticed, so I'm going to make the intro a little bit shorter than normal. The album is called Desire, folk rock, 1976. We'll skip right down to the chart. 2 times platinum, #1 album over in the UK, #3 album. Some other #1s up here in Spanish, and then also Dutch and Australian albums. Heading on over to the song Hurricane. This maybe, he did mention it's a true story, so maybe it's based off this gentleman here. Let's see. Protest song written by Bob Dylan, co-written by Jacques Levy, released as a single. The song is about the imprisonment of the boxer Reuben Hurricane Carter. Okay, there we go. It describes the act of racism and profiling against Carter, which led to a flawed trial and a murder conviction that was eventually overturned. Okay. Go down, check the chart. Hot 133. Okay. Go back up. Let's get into this. A little bit over 8 minutes, so let's check it out. Here we go.
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. Enter Betty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees a bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, my God, they've killed them all. Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. 3 bodies lying there, does Patty see? And another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. I didn't do what he says, and he throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register, I hope you understand. I saw him leave and he says, and he stops. One of us had better call up the cops. And so Patty calls the cops. And they arrive on the scene with their red lights flashing in a hot New Jersey night. Meanwhile, far away in another part of town, Reuben Carter and a couple of friends are driving around. #1 contender for the middleweight crown. Had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down when a cop pulled him over to the side of the road. Just like the time before and the time before that. In Patterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the street unless you want to draw the heat. Alfred Bello had a partner and he had a rap for the cops. Him and other Dexter Bradley were just out prowling around. He said, I saw 2 men running out, they looked like middleweights. Jumped into a white car with out-of-state plates. And Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. Cop said, wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. And though this man could hardly see, he told him he could identify the guilty man. The wounded man looks up to his one dying champion of the world. 4 months later, the ghetto's on flame. Ruben's in South America, fighting for his name. Well, Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game. And the cops are putting the screws to him, looking for somebody to blame. Remember that murder that you happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? Think you'd like to play ball with the law? Think it might have been that fighter that you saw running that night. Don't forget that you are white. Dexter Bradley said, I'm really not sure. The cop said a poor boy like you can use a break. We got you for the motel job and you're talking to your friend Bello. You don't want to have to go back to jail, be a nice fellow. You'll be doing society a favor. That son of a bitch is brave and getting braver. We want to put his ass in the stir. We want to pin this triple murder on him. He ain't no gentleman jail. Ruben could take a man out with just one punch, but he never did like to talk about it all that much. It's my work, he'd say, I do it for pay. And when it's over, just as soon go on my way. Up to some paradise where the trout streams flow and the air is nice, and ride a horse along the trail. But then they took him to the jailhouse where they tried to turn a man into a mouse. All of Ruben's cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus, he never had a chance. The judge made Ruben's witnesses drunkards from the slums. To the white folks who watched, he was a revolutionary bum. And to the black folks, he was just a crazy nigger. No one doubted that he pulled the trigger. And though they could not produce the gun, the DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the old white jury agreed. Carter was falsely tried. The crime was murder one. Guess who testified? Bello and Bradley, and they both they lied. And the newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can the life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game. Criminals in their coats and their ties are free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise, while Ruben sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell, an innocent man in a living hell. Yes, that's the story of the hurricane, but it won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
I don't think I've ever heard a folk rock song quite like that. Very interesting tempo for me personally in this genre. Not used to it being that fast paced. That alone was really unique. Interesting song, man. That's what a story there. Let's maybe if we can find some other background now that we've got the song down. Let's try and read a little bit more because I'm kind of interested here. Carter and John Artis, artists, had been charged with a triple murder at a grill in New Jersey, 66. The following year, Carter and Artis were found guilty of the murders, which were widely reported as racially motivated. In the years that followed, a substantial amount of controversy emerged over the case, ranging from allegations of faulty evidence and questionable eyewitness testimony for unfair trial. In his autobiography, Carter maintained his innocence, and after reading it, Dylan visited him in the Rahway State Prison in Woodridge Township, New Jersey. And let's see if we can find anything here. I want to know what happened after. That's really what I'm looking for. And hurricane. Yep. After meeting with Carter, Dylan began to write. Okay, so he met with him. Began writing the song. The song was one of his few protest songs during the 70s and proved to be his fourth most successful single of the decade, reaching number 33 on the Hot 100. Billboard declared that it was probably the most powerful song Dylan had recorded in a decade, combining the sensible hate he showed in Masters of War with a perfect expression of the kind of injustice heard in The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll. Record World said that the story is true and the names haven't been changed to protect the innocent. Let me see. Despite winning the right to a new trial, Carter and Artis were once again found guilty when the prosecution argued that the defendants committed a triple murder at the Lafayette Grill in revenge for the killing of an African-American tavern owner earlier during the same night. In 1976, Carter was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms. Dylan and the higher-profile supporters did not attend the trial. Artis was paroled 5 years later. In 1985, this judge, who declined to hear the song when it was offered to him by his family, ruled that Carter had not received a fair trial and overturned the conviction, resulting in Carter's release and the granting of a writ of habeas corpus. Okay. Commenting that the persecution had been based on racism rather than reason and concealment rather than disclosure. In 1988, after the prosecution said they would not seek a third trial and filed a motion to dismiss following their failed appeal to the Supreme Court, which declined to hear the case and upheld Sarakin's ruling. A superior court judge dropped all the charges against Carter and Artis. That was 1988. Oh my goodness. So how long did this go on for? 1966. That was a multi-decade thing. Wow. It also mentioned he raised a whole bunch of money too. I kind of skipped over that, but he did raise a whole bunch of money here. So yeah, wow, interesting song. What a unfortunate thing, of course, but I do appreciate the musicality behind it. I'm not the biggest Bob Dylan fan, I don't think. But on this one, I got to admit, his voice has kind of won me over a little bit more. It sounds really perfect for the type of song this is. This folk rock. It's, it's a little bit up-tempo, faster. It just works in really well with this style. And I think for that reason, I kind of like that. I don't know if it's my favorite Bob Dylan song, because I haven't really heard that many. But I think this is a really one interesting song. You don't get too many songs that are based off of, real stories, especially something like this. And then you also run the risk as an artist, when you make a song like this, you open yourself up to criticism for sure, because some people might not agree with you. And then also you run into, also it might not just be popular, and then you could create problems with your label. I don't know, whole shebang. You know what I mean? It could be a bunch of whole stuff that comes with it. So gotta give him credit for that too. Sticking his head out, doing a song that he believes, you know, is important, and trying to get the story out there. You know, a lot of people that said here somewhere that, you know, it started to gain traction after the song came out and stuff. So give him credit for that too. But going back to what I said at first, like earlier, that is not a folk rock song that a type of song that I've heard before. I'm just not used to that fast pace. The drums were incredible. I kept listening for the drums, man. They were so just punchy and loud and just crisp. And then the strings as well was really, really nice. Like I said, I'm just not used to something so prominent and quick and just kind of folk rock in my face like that. It was just different. So overall, I enjoyed it. It's unfortunate, but I did enjoy it. The song, you know, the case. But yeah, I liked it. Hurricane. And here, I don't know much about this guy as a boxer either. I haven't really heard of him. So but yeah, there's that. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed that reaction. Have yourself a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.